It's been a long time since I had a shirt with a nice collar without a button here. It's usually, when you're my size, it's hard to find a shirt that actually is like a business style shirt. Everything is so casual. But I do admit that the buttons on the shirt, look, they're kind of like protruding out through the sweater. It's a thin, cheap sweater, but the buttons are kind of like on. They're like stressed out. So I look much better standing up than I do sitting down. Just thinking about the last vlog, talking about going to the gym and how it's been on my mind, and it really truly has. I find that, man, the car sounds so loud. The block has these huge spaces in it, and it's so cold. It's 32 degrees. So the tire has so much air that, you know, from the tires, I don't know, it's like the stiffening of the rubber, so you feel everything. So my apologies for the sound. You working through this truly means you care. And I'm in New York City. Look at someone's home right here. You want to see someone's home? Interesting how we can just drive by this stuff. No big deal. It's not just Skid Row. That's somebody's home. I don't know how much of that you got. But yeah, man, that's somebody's home right there. You know, it's New York City. You know, you can be literally steps away from so much money and inches away from so much pain. My children used to be very traumatized by seeing New York as they gotten older, you know, seeing poverty like that. I think the first time was on our trip. We were coming in through, we were coming back into the East Coast, and we were in, we wanted to see there was a big arch, and they have like this elevated ride where you can ride in it, and I believe that's St. Louis, Missouri. And we went there with the children. It was such a great experience. I did a really, really amazing vlog on that I have to release. And there was this young guy there, and he was just like asking my children for money, and they were like, he's asking me for money. And they didn't really experience that before. Someone so young. In New York, they were used to like older looking men with, you know, looking like they had bad breath and missing teeth. This was like a young person, like 17 years old, 20 years old. And they were just like, whoa. So interesting what you see so close to you, you know. What you gonna do? I, on the other hand, am so used to it. It doesn't faze me at all. I find art in it. I find it to be very interesting how people live, especially the homeless people. You know, a lot of homeless people in New York live like, it appears that the homeless people in New York are out of their minds. You know, you see the way they're living on the streets, you go, oh, this person has to be crazy. But there is a whole nother group of homeless people in New York City that you would just never know were homeless. Like, they're like going to work every day. You know, they go to the gym, they take showers, they shave, they brush their teeth, and they got different dry cleaners that they keep their clothes in. And they'll go to a dry cleaner and keep their clothes. You know, they have like 7 shirts with this one, 4 shirts with that one, 2 slacks. They got their coat like this with this one, so that's how they keep their winter coat. And you're like, man, how the heck does this person always like transforms into, like, he has, somebody must be holding his stuff or her stuff? No, they are smart. They go to dry cleaners and they know the people that own the dry cleaners, and before you know it, they might have even paid for the coat, but they just never pick it up. And they like, did I leave my coat here again? I'm so sorry. Listen, is it cool? Can I leave it here? And they're like, no problem. You got a ton of dry cleaners that got coats from people that are homeless, that are just sitting up there that they never came back to get, you know? Because everybody knows, you know, when you're at that bar, you got that customer and, you know, it's the last call for alcohol. Everybody leaves and they still stay, and you just let them stay. You know, it's like that fruit stand and that store, that little restaurant that you know. You know, you see that guy all the time. He's always there. You know, he's crashing down on the cot downstairs. You know, and he's trying to get up out of it. New York is full of those stories. Millions. If there's 20 million in New York City, there's 1 million homeless. They only talk about the 200,000 that you see. It's the 750,000 others that are going to work every day, busting their ass, trying to take a selfie for Facebook just so that nobody thinks that there's anything wrong and everything is okay. You know, I think about stuff like that. You know, intermittent fasting has helped me kind of like look at those things differently, where normally I'm like, whatever, I'm not interested. You know, like I'm like, you know, I used to think you used to be able to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and, you know, you just get it going. Got to get out that rut, you know? It's not that easy. Intermittent fasting has helped me kind of maybe let go of the ego enough where I can see that we're all just people, you know? But I do find it extremely interesting, though, how many homeless in New York City are functional, educated, smart, beautiful, handsome, creative. You gotta be creative if you're homeless and you're going to work every day and you're the cleanest person at that damn job. You know? How do you pull that off? What's your IQ truly like? What did you really see that you can't unsee anymore? That you now are, you know, unable to get out of the hole that you're in? Or are you even in a hole? Have you figured something out? I think about stuff like that. Didn't used to. I used to turn a blind eye to a lot of things. I would never tip or I would never give a person any money that I saw begging on the highways. Never. I would never do that. Last few months, I've done that. My kids will be kind of shocked to know that I've done that. I think so. Because I'm an advocate for not doing that. And intermittent fasting, there seems to be some sort of non-depending on the food, maybe is starting to open my mind up to what I think is okay, maybe what I think is, regular, and what's the big deal? Maybe how cool is that train next to me? I'm only going 19 miles an hour. This city is a beautiful city. I would let you see it, but this right here is cool. So, I started giving people some cash. I started to look at the homeless, the advertised homeless, in other words. I will refer to them as the advertised homeless because it seems pretty obvious that you are living and looking very homeless. You look actually a little mentally disturbed, and you're making me nervous. Back up. I don't think this is gonna. We don't have a friendship here that's gonna ever happen here. So. I am now seeing them. Well, I didn't see them before. It was easier to walk by them. And I'm wondering, is it my fighting the is the food that much of a distraction to me? Is it that much of a distraction? Is food taking over my life so much so that I cannot even see, or I wasn't able to even see the homeless the way I see them now, as more like on a human level? I don't know. Buttons are under pressure. I'm so fat. It's a 2XB I'm wearing. And I got this from a buddy of mine's. He has a warehouse where they buy all these containers. It's a huge racket. They just buy these containers sight unseen. And then, oops, this is what we have. So he just sells all that stuff on eBay. And, so I picked out a couple of shirts. I picked out one shirt, actually. LJ picked out a few things. It was cool. But, man, what the heck? I'm noticing homeless people in a more, like a human kind of a way. Like, I feel like all right. I felt that I knew the story. I knew their story. I get it. You were abused as a child. I get it. No one ever loved you. I get it. I felt like I knew the story. So, now, I'm curious as to Yes, there's probably some sort of script involved, but I'm still now more interested in maybe the person that you're being now. Forget about the past. I don't need to know that story. I never needed to know it. I already knew it. I get it. Okay. You've been through a lot. I get it. Child abuse. I get it. You know, all the things that I've been talking about, I get it. But now, I'm more interested in the person that they're being right now. So I see them, and I don't mind throwing them with 50 cents. You know, I haven't made it to $1, but I got a little change thing here in the car. You know, and this change thing in the car, I have to make sure every night I have a piece of paper over that, because these same people will break your window to get to that change. So they can do something a little strange. Oh yes, don't get it twisted. So I am well aware of that. Big time. Big time. But I am interested in maybe who they're being at the moment. You know, I know who you were. I know how you got here. What are you doing now? Who are you now? I got a ramen spill over here. Thinking about a ramen. Let's see. I do see 2 spots available. They only fit like 6 people in there. And I saw only about 3 or 4 people. So, my window is about to close to eat. What's interesting is that I really haven't eaten anything today. And I hate that I've been doing that. I don't want to make this a once a day kind of a thing going on here. But I've really been only eating when I'm hungry, and I was a little hungry earlier, and I had some trail mix. I did bust down a can of Pepsi, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't feel bad. I do feel bad, and I don't feel bad at the same time, though. That's not the way. All right, here we go. Here we go. Gonna go get a ramen. And call it a day. Thank you for tuning in. Watching the train go by as I go over the... Yes, you guessed it right. You were right. I don't have to say it. I'm not gonna say what bridge it was, because you know what bridge it was. You don't need me to confirm that bridge. I'm not gonna put it in the I am gonna put it in the comment section. So you're gonna have to go to the show notes, like James Corbett would say, from the Corbett Report. But you know you're right. You have nothing to prove. Oh man. And look, since we saw that homeless person in that area there, that Fulton, I don't think that's Flushing Avenue, or that Myrtle Avenue, Metropolitan. I can't really remember, but where we saw that homeless person on this whole entire ride here and back into Manhattan. None. Nada, not one person. And they seem to be very strategically placed. A lot of times, you know, you turn around, you're like, wait a minute. That's those advertise homeless I was talking about. All right, there's a new wing spot over here. And this is the ramen. Where is the ramen? These places are so small. A buddy of mine used to own. Okay, let me go in there. Looks nice and warm. The windows are clear. You know, I don't like going into a spot and it's 32. Right now it says 39. It was 32 earlier. But it's 39. You go to a spot and what do you find? You find out that the spot is, oh, you see the windows are fogged. The windows are foggy for one reason only. They're not heating up the joint. They're actually trying to get the kitchen steam and heat to heat up the place. So the tables are always cold. The plates, when they bring in the plates or the bowls are always cold. I don't like that. I like a place where you can see inside. Means that the place is heated properly. Like you go to what's those spots? What are those places like those buffets, those Chinese buffets? All the windows are covered in this condensation. It's because they're not heating the place properly. So it's like body heat, and I don't like to eat like that. So the ramen spot, crystal clear. I can see all the way to the chef. Boom, I'm out of here. Thank you. Oops, caught it.